Thanks, David, for my intro. I always appreciate that. Good to see you guys. Happy Halloween. Anything fun? Anybody do anything fun tonight?
I'm wondering if you're going to be a DJ or anything else planned?
Just going to be a grandpa. I'm just going to play the role of grandpa. That's all I'm going to do.
What's Luca's costume?
I haven't seen it yet, but I heard he's already got it on. He's a dog. He's a dog. Yeah. D-O-double-G.
There you go.
Do you have a favorite Halloween candy?
Favorite Halloween candy? Man, I like a lot of them. I would say I really like Almond Joy. I like Almond Joy. Yeah, and I like the peanut butter ones. I like those as well. I mean, what happened to like the whatchamacallit? I miss a whatchamacallit, Charleston Chew. Like, do they even have those anymore?
Yeah.
Huh?
Did you used to put them in the freezer?
I'm afraid to break my teeth off. Yeah. We used to do that for sure. So.
Movie?
Not that one on your shirt. Jeez. I used to like scary movies, but I think I've kind of grown out of that phase of my life now. I don't want to be scared. I want to be happy.
Well, I mean, on that note, by opening the season against the defending national champs, I guess that's a clear indication that you're not scared to try this young team out against top competition. How did this game come about?
It's a great opportunity. It came about in the off season. There's a promoter that's running the event, and we had expressed an interest in playing, in Vegas, and I guess Florida did as well. So it really came together that easy. It was a promoter who put it together, and it was an easy decision. We're excited for the opportunity.
Tommy, I know you've talked in the past about, wanting to continue having games up in the Phoenix market. Is Las Vegas a market you'd like to routinely have games as well?
For sure. I mean, I think, now, all those Pac-12 days way back when, we had a great presence in Las Vegas. So, something, Las Vegas is a great city. It's a great neutral city that fans from both teams or all teams will travel to. So, and obviously it's the entertainment capital of our country. So yeah, anytime you can, have an exciting basketball game there and, give your fans a few other things to do besides watch a game, I think that's pretty cool.
Since we're talking about Vegas, you're 9-2 at T-Mobile Arena in your career at Arizona. Just talk about fans traveling to Vegas and the impact they have, kind of turning that into McHale North.
I'm 0 for 0 this year. So like I don't think past history is going to be an indicator of what will happen this year. So yeah, obviously there's good proximity for us, and our fans love going to Vegas. And from what I've heard, it's going to be a great crowd. I mean, I've heard it's pretty much a sold out venue. Going to be an exciting opening night of college basketball. I'm sure, Florida's fans are going to be there as well. They're excited, being the defending national champs as they should. And, I think our fans are excited to see our team play as well. So I'm expecting a great atmosphere Monday afternoon.
Expect a lot of BYU fans there? And
For sure.
For you guys?
For sure. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not rooting against them. So, I mean, sure, if they want to pull for us, I won't bother me at all. So, I mean, I think it's great. There's a lot of really cool things, about this. You have the defending national champs, you have Arizona, you have a BYU that obviously has a really good team coming back, and one of the top recruits in the country. You got a traditional power. Let's not forget Villanova. I mean, Villanova's won 2 national championships very recently. So I think it's going to be just a great night for college basketball, and we're looking forward to kicking off the season, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of eyes and a lot of interested parties watching.
How much interaction did you have with Todd Golden back at the San Francisco Gonzaga?
Obviously our paths have crossed a lot. Todd's a really talented young coach. Who's found a really good identity for how he wants to play with his teams, and obviously, they built a team that was capable of winning the national championship, and being capable of winning it and winning it are two different things, and they got it done. So got a ton of respect for what he's done.
Did you remember him as a point guard at St. Mary's?
For sure. I mean, Todd was he was more of a shooter. I remember one game they upset us down at St. Mary's, and I think they literally pitched like a perfect game, and I think he was like 4 for 4 from 3. Bruce, you can look that up and see how good my memory is, but I'm pretty sure that happened.
In this day and age, it used to be secret scrimmages. Now you guys have public TV, scrimmages and all that. Florida doesn't. Does that make it a little more difficult to scout what's going on?
For sure. You're going in a little more blind, but that's happened in years past, and we obviously, everything we've done has been on TV so far. And for me, I just think about our fans, when we make those decisions. I don't, whatever, I don't know what trade secrets you're going to gain. You probably gain a little bit watching a game or two, but, to me, there's more value in our fans being able to watch us play, whether it's red, blue, our exhibition games than doing a secret scrimmage at this point. When the rules changed, we wanted to take advantage of that.
Tommy, we've talked a lot about what Braden Burries could be. In the red-blue game, he was able to hit some threes. In the first exhibition game, he showed a really nice mid-range jumper, and then in the last game, he really drove to the basket with a little bit of aggressiveness. Do you see him as a three-level scorer? Would you categorize him as that?
For sure. I mean, he's a dynamic offensive player. I mean, I see him as a guy that, when the ball's in his hands, he's going to make the right decision for the team, whatever that may be. And the right decision, could be him scoring at any one of those three levels or making a play for someone else. So he's somebody that, I'm sure over the course of the year is going to grow in that role. And we're very comfortable when the ball is in his hands.
Talking about what you said about the scrimmages, Golden, I think he was joking, it sounded like, but he did say something about he was wondering if a GA at Illinois might leak you guys that video of that scrimmage. I mean, is that kind of...
I haven't met that GA yet.
I mean, do you think that kind of, like you said, you don't feel it's that different, but is that really a pretty big thing with...
I mean, listen, we got to go to play the game, and listen, I'm basing it off this. I think common sense says they won the national championship last year, right? They have a lot of returning players, so whatever they did worked. So my guess is they're going to really lean into heavy that what won them a national championship would be my guess.
Well, how do you scout that, though, being as you have, they obviously what they do, him, but they lost Clayton, a huge guy, and they got a double.
You have tape on everybody, Bruce. You have tape on everybody, and everyone has tendencies, and just because they, I'm sure tendencies can change over the course of a summer, but like you go in with the information that's provided to you and you do the best job. But again, let's focus on the main thing. The main thing is it's the first game of the year, and your team has to be ready to play. So to me, that's where our eyes, effort, and energy needs to be focused, is more on ourselves and how we approach it. And I don't think we're a slouch. I think that we force the other team to make some decisions, and just because they've seen us play a couple times, I mean, I don't know, maybe they got it figured out, maybe they don't. We just got to go out and play the game.
Do you see anything in Golden's style, though, from maybe even from Mark Few, because he was competing against you guys so many years, or even Kyle Smith you worked under?
I mean, for sure. I mean, I think when you compete against the same people over and over, sometimes you see the styles start to meld a little bit. So for sure, I mean, there's a lot of aspects. They're comfortable playing with bigs. They're comfortable playing and kind of a lot of the similar concepts within their flow offense. That maybe that we do or that Gonzaga does.
When you think Florida, you obviously think size. How do you think, without giving too much away, just how do you think your front court matches up, and how do you be effective on both?
Well, I love our front court. I think our front court, is very well suited to play at Arizona and the way we want to play. And I don't think we have the type of guys that are going to back down to anybody. And so I mean that's. Florida's got really good players. We have good players. Let's play the game and see how it goes. I mean, maybe we'll get out there and afterwards I'll tell you I felt like we were overwhelmed. Maybe we'll play the game and I'll feel like, hey, I felt we're really comfortable with that matchup. So, we're going to play the game and we're going to see. I haven't played against them. They haven't played against us. So, I mean, I think we're going to both have to get out on the court and figure it out.
Ideally, would you prefer to have like a home game against one of the bye opponents to start things?
What does it matter?
Just
I mean, ideally, yeah, but when you're asked to open college basketball on national TV in Vegas, do you say, "Excuse me"? Ideally, I would like to play. That option wasn't on the table. The game was presented to us on this certain date against this certain opponent, and you don't get to play the caveat. Well, we'll play it, but we want to play it on a Tuesday or Wednesday, and before we want to, you just don't get it. That's not an option. So, not even considered. And I felt like we had a pretty good St. Mary's team in here a few weeks ago. So I feel like we have good players that practice against each other every day. So
And that St. Mary's game probably, you feel, gives you a better preparation than if you had played like a second non-D1?
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, any time. I mean, obviously, the better competition, the better the preparation. And I mean, I'm no math wizard, but if we beat St. Mary's and then St. Mary's goes and beats Ole Miss, I mean, St. Mary's is probably a pretty good team. So, and we knew they were good. We knew St. Mary's was good. And like I told you guys, we had to dig deep that day, probably a little deeper than I was comfortable with, based on who was available and kind of our early season conditioning. But that a credit to our guys for digging deep, and a credit to St. Mary's for making us dig deep.
Considering this is the first game of the year, what's your criteria and rubric for evaluating the performance on Monday?
Well, I really don't have a rubric. This isn't English 101, so I'm sorry to break that to you. I mean, maybe I should give one. Like I've told you guys before. I mean, this is a season. It's a journey. It's not a it's not a singular instance. It's not just an event. So this one event plays a much bigger role into it's a smaller part of a much bigger season. So for me, I'll evaluate it just on what it looks like and how it feels after we play. And I love doing that with our team. I love staying in that moment. I love connecting with the staff. Maybe the next day and kind of figuring out what direction we feel like we need to take things. I mean, to me, that's a lot of the fun in coaching is figuring that stuff out. So. I'm not acting like we have all the answers. We've prepared how we usually prepare to start a season. It's a single game against a really good team. Let's see how it goes, and then we'll kind of form some opinions and start making some adjustments from there.
Do you have a specific message for incoming freshmen like Braden, like Cole, like Ivy, who are going to be playing in their first college game?
I mean, nothing outside the ordinary. I mean, these are really good basketball players who've played on big stages before. I mean, it's another big stage, at a different level of basketball. So, I mean, I'm not going to act like it's everything equates, but these guys, for freshmen, they're seasoned. They didn't just turn up and end up being a good player. These guys have been in the limelight and they've performed in the limelight and been very successful.
Exhibition games, shooting under 30% combined from the perimeter. Do you have any concerns kind of about where three-point shooting is at? Or?
No concerns. 2 games, small sample size. Let's see where it goes. I mean, last game, I mean, I don't know, maybe we could have shot a lot of threes, but, how the game played out didn't demand that. So, so getting off a lot of threes wasn't the focus. But, I feel a lot of comfortable. I mean, I've seen our shooters make a lot of shots this offseason. So, I feel like over the course of the season, the numbers will play out like they should.
It seems that just based off the exhibition, your starting lineup is relatively set for the most part, except for maybe at center.
Really?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you guys seem to know more than I know. So.
I guess that's what I was gonna say. Do you have an idea of?
I mean, I'm going to figure it out this weekend with the staff. But I've told you guys, and you guys, I know you guys. I mean, it makes it more concrete and it feels better for you guys. But it's just not how I operate. Like, we're a team that we really don't care about the starting lineup. We're going to figure out a rotation. We're going to figure out a rotation that we feel like makes the most sense. We're going to figure out a rotation we feel like puts guys in the best position to be successful. And you know what? I always feel it's a luxury to have 7 starters. If we're sitting over there arguing over splitting hairs over something, that's a good thing. That means you have good players, and I feel like we're in that situation.
Well, it seems like kind of like last year that you have the rotation that 6, 7, 8, maybe 9. A lot of questions there. Which way? A lot of things you might.
I mean,
be able to do.
I don't know. I don't have a lot of questions. I feel pretty comfortable where we're at.
Yeah, but I mean, just as far as like, how are you going to mix this?
Well,
in?
Bruce, that's always a
How many
question.
minutes?
This game, it's an emotional game with a lot of random events. It's not putting words on paper. So it's very different. So, I can go in with a script, but what if the situation calls for something different than the script, and then I'm tied to the script? So, of course I'm going to have a base plan we work off of. But like I said, it's the first game, and we're just going to get a feel for how things go. And the 5th, 8th, 12th game, things could look different, as it plays out over the course of time.
Last question.
Well, what do you think? I was just wondering, you were not real wild about that, the Big 12 injury reports. Now the NCAA is saying for the tournament, you have to do like a player availability reports. And I was curious.
I
if
mean,
you saw
listen,
kinda what
I
you
mean,
thought.
obviously things get taken out of context. Here's the deal. Guys, we've seen what's happened with this gambling stuff. Okay, and I'm not going to get on my soapbox and give all my opinions on it, okay? But I mean, why are they making people do player availability reports now all of a sudden? For the media? No.
They're saying it
Well,
protects the players in the
well,
sense that
good,
they won't
good,
be
good.
pressured.
Then, yeah, then for sure. And then let's just add more prop bets. Let's add more. I mean, because they're not protecting the players. What they're doing is they're protecting their financial interest, okay, and investment in their sports. That's what they're doing, and so they're trying to protect the gamblers. They're trying to protect the bookies. That's who they're trying to protect. You can don't put it on the players. But if they want to put it on the players, they can. That's fine. Okay, they're not. They're not. This is solely because betting sponsorship is becoming a huge part of everything, and everyone wants a piece of it. So they're trying to get more friendly for the books, the casinos. That's it. Like there's no other way to put it. So, I mean, I'd have no problem giving a injury report. I have no problem doing it. But I think we all have to all just be honest with why we're doing it.
Well, I mean, I think they're.
I would literally, I have no problem. If we had a gentleman's agreement amongst coaches of calling Coach X the night before and say, hey, 13's not going to play tomorrow because he sprained his ankle. Just want to, as a gentleman, so you have a little opportunity to prepare your team. And then he tells me, hey, yeah, 12 for us is a little banged up. He ain't going to play. I have no problem doing that, sharing that information with our opponents. To me, that's a respect for competition. But that's not why we're doing it. So that's it. But I don't want to be a driving force or an opinion on this thing, guys. It's just obvious, and I just don't want the kids to get caught up in it and act like we're protecting the kids when we're not.
Have you ever sensed that from any of your players, that somebody's coming to them and saying, hey, is this guy hurt?
No.
Trying to get inside information? Is
I mean,
that-
never. We talk to our guys about it all the time. No. And let's be honest. How many people sitting in those stands are betting on those games? You know how many times I've walked off a court and had somebody yell at me because we won by 17 instead of 16? Or we won by, you know what I mean? We won by 15 instead of 20? It happens all the time. And whatever, it is part of the deal, and people have their freedoms to choose what they want. But, like, guys, you're making things incredibly difficult on these kids. And for what? So other people can make money. So that's it. That's why I don't like the player availability reports, because I know the reason we're doing them. But we're going to abide by it. We're going to follow the rules. Like I have no problem. I'm not trying to be secretive or tricky.
Thanks, Coach.
So, all right. Thanks, guys.